All right, so the second data set that we want to look at is the healthdata.org data, or data from the Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation, where you find pretty much the most important health data that is around, very specific. And if you want to access the data, you go to Results and GBT Results Tool. Okay, so we click on there. And now a data bank opens, which may take some time sometimes. Okay, so, and we want specifically one indicator, which is child and maternal malnutrition. And we want that in dailies, which are disability adjusted life years. And depending on how much you work on health issues, you need to familiarize a little bit with the abundance of data that you have. So IHME distinguishes between causes of disability and risk factors. So people may die of lung cancer, and the risk might be smoking or so. So what we want to do is we want to look at the disability adjusted life years that can be attributed to child and maternal malnutrition, which is a risk factor. So we change the context from cause to risk, and now you see that we have now here another menu opening up with the risk factors. And so we click on it, and we don't want all risk factors, we only want the one which are child and maternal malnutrition, which includes things like suboptimal breastfeeding, child growth failure, low birth weight, and short gestation. And you can look at others. So there's like all kinds of indicators, but we only want the risk factor, child and maternal malnutrition. And if you want to get more information, you have to click around in contents, and they have like additional resources where you can find exact definitions of the variable. So we have now selected one risk factor, and when we click on location, you see we can select all, but that again includes countries and territories and GBD regions, global burden of disease regions, and super regions. So we only want countries and territories, and we click on these. And then now we have selected 204 countries. When it comes to the year, again, as always, we want to select everything that we have. But you see, this one only starts in 1990. But nevertheless, let's try to download everything that we can download. Then context is risk. Age, you could even break it down to certain age groups. We just keep it simple. We want all ages. When it comes to the metric, there is the number, percent, and rate. We want the rate. So if you look at dailies, rate means how many life years are being lost either to disability or premature death when it's prorated per 100,000 of the population. So rate will be good enough. And we only want the disability adjusted life years. We also could look at the death, but we want disability adjusted life years. When it comes to sex, we just want it for both. And then we want basically all causes that can be attributed to the risk factor child and maternal malnutrition. So then here we click on download CSV, and in this case it is publicly available, but you need to confirm that you are not an employee of an or agent of a commercial organization, that you have read everything. Then what I always recommend is to click on both, because that will give you the entire description, the name of the risk, but also the ID. Sometimes you want to look up the ID and the name. It's always good to have both. So then click on both, and you just enter now your email address. And once you enter your email address, you can submit. You will get a link in your email account after a while. Sometimes it may take a while. That will have the data set then ready for you, and you will click on that link and download it, and then we have another data set. Okay, so that was just a quick overview of the IHME data. All right, thanks.